second or two. Catch us up with us. Hi, everybody. Here we are. Here we are. Let's see if we can catch you coming. It's live, but I'm not seeing it. Where are you? Where are you on Facebook? There we go. All right. Hey, Johanna, I see you're watching. All right. Well, hi, everybody. It is just right at time to begin. We're on time. How about that? I am here with my good friend, Dr. Ruby Bajaj, and she is just the, I can't, you know what? You're frozen, Ruby. I hope your video comes back to life. I can't hear you. Hey, Johanna. So there you, nope, that's me moving, not you. So Ruby is my friend, but she's also like this super amazing badass. And, you know, we talk sometimes on here about badassery, and I think she had to leave the building for a minute to get back on to see if her Zoom would, you know, there's always something going on here, always something going on here. So hopefully her Zoom will come back on in a minute and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'm going to try to calm my hair down some. So it's great to be with everybody. And here comes some people into the Zoom room. Here comes Micah. And Micah's with us. So Micah, if you don't mind, there's Ruby, she's back with us. Micah, if you don't mind closing out your video and your closing your mic as well, that'd be great. So here we are. We got some people in the peanut gallery, so feel free, Micah, to chat with us and say hi. We got some people online with us now. I'm Paula Boland, and I am the CEO and maven of Paula B Coaching, and I am out on a mission, on a movement to help everybody reach their highest potential. That's my game. And I do that through helping you connect with your power, helping you connect with what your dreams are, walking the path that's calling to you. And one of the places that we really do a lot of this work is called the badassery. And yeah, Micah's saying hello, everyone. Hello, dear ones. So we're gonna put her chats in there too. So I've got with me a super bad ass. I've already sort of introduced her, Dr. Ruby Bajaj. She's with me today. It's so cool to have a guest on this show. It's so wonderful to have you guys cheering for her. I'd like to give you guys that are on right now say yay and welcome. Give her the welcome. I know she's following too on the Facebook Live feed. But I'm going to have Dr. Ruby, yeah, and Micah says welcome. I'm going to have you just introduce yourself. Tell us, you know, about your business. And I know it's got something about superpower in it. I know, you know, that's who you are. And she's the original badass, you guys. She's the one who I go to all the time for ideas, for cheerleading, for, you know, if I'm out of my power, she helps me get back in it. You're just going to be so excited to hear from her today. And she's going to tell you a little bit about her story. And by the way, guys, I'm sorry it's dark on me. My light is not working and things just aren't going together, but we're going anyway. That's what we do. Mary Tennyson says, hey, yay, Ruby. So we got a lot of cheerleaders on with us today, people that know you. And for those of you, oh yeah, Micah says I have enough of my own light. I'll take that. Love it.
That's right, you're glowing.
Woo! So, for those of you that want to, you can put in, here's Peter Scott joining us too. We got a bunch of your fans on with us today. So amazing. If you have a question for her and you want to type it in, those of you that are in the VIP section, certainly put it in the chat box. Any statements I'm going to read out and keep this going. So tell us about you. Tell us about your power. Make us just jump for joy, which you always do, Ruby. It's so glad to have you here. Thank you.
Aw, bless you, Paula. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited. The love is mutual. The respect is mutual. And she is my go-to as well. My, what's the person? I don't know if it's a dream catcher or dream creator or power propeller, whatever you want to call it.
Propeller's a good one.
But that's what you are to me too. So I truly, truly appreciate it. And I'm so excited to be here. Always, I'm excited to be here with you, Paula, and your tribe.
Yeah.
And, you know, my superpower is I am a transformational mindset coach and business strategist. But I really like the transformational mindset coaching part just because that was applicable to me. And it still is at times. And quite honestly, my story starts when I got cancer. I went to the doctor. I was ready to live my best life, go to the doctor, and 3 words changed everything. You have cancer. So I took a deep breath and called my husband and said, I have cancer.
Wow.
And that just changed the entire trajectory of who I was to what I am now. But quite honestly, through that whole time, that experience since then, cancer became my blessing. It became my angel. Quite honestly, it guided me to the right path that I needed to go from day one, and I just refused to listen to. And I think many of us do that. And that's where the transformational mindset came from.
Yeah.
Because it was something that I always had this little voice in my head saying, well, what are you doing? You're meant for more. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm so little. I'm 5'2" and I'm Indian and I'm a mom and I'm a wife and my husband's a doctor. Well, you know, I'm a doctor too, but I never really recognized it, quite honestly. So it took those 3 words and the rug being pulled out from under me to learn how to fly.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
that's what
so-
happened.
And
Yeah.
Micah says so often where we're headed is where we think we're supposed to go. We were just talking about this before we came on. And so often something that happens that we don't like that we're, you know, I'm adding stuff to hers, but that we realize is the miracle of that. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think recognizing the miracles of all the problems that we go through, what we name as problems, are actually miracles because they're miracles in disguise. You know, I think a lot of times, you know, I remember my mom used to say, and this is like this whole cliche saying, the book, what is that? Oh my God, I can't remember it. See, chemo brain comes into never judge a book by its cover. And miracles don't always come with this beautiful, lavish cover. And mine was cancer. And when you hear the words cancer, you kind of like, your bones hurt, you're frizzled out and scared and shiver, you know, trembling comes. And so that's what happened until I realized, boom. It was, yeah.
Wow. And you had kids at that point, right?
Yeah, 3-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter, 8-year-old daughter at the time. Wow. So, I mean, try saying that to your child that you have cancer. You know, it's hard enough to face death, but it's much harder to tell your child that you may not be there tomorrow. Yeah. And they sleep with you, they play with you, you know, that coconut smelling hair that you kiss goodnight to may not be there for you to kiss goodnight anymore, or for them to have that kiss from you goodnight. And that's very, it's that, you know, I don't know like who said it, but I remember Oprah Winfrey had said it in one of her shows, like, tap on the shoulder, you should listen. Slap on the face, you still don't listen. Let me just smack you upside the head and knock you over, and now you better listen. So that's what that was. That's what that was. And I woke up from a hidden spell that I don't know. Yeah. I charmed myself with.
Yeah. So everybody's saying, Micah's saying that she's thanking you for your story. Everybody's saying that. Yeah.
Thank you.
For us, I know that was, I can only imagine hearing those words, and you came in for a regular doctor's appointment and, you know, heard those words. I can't even imagine what that would be like and how to process that. And then little kids and everything like that. It's just so amazing. And certainly you were meant to have something else going on in your life. Yeah.
You know, ironically, my son had put a Wonder Woman sticker on my car the weekend before I got diagnosed, which was hilarious because it became a symbol of my company, which is Superhero Lifestyle. And it came from that Wonder Woman sticker that, you know, they were like, Mom, you're like Superwoman. And the next thing I knew, I had to be. I didn't have a choice.
Wow.
So it's crazy. But, you know, ironically, It wasn't at that moment that I realized my own power, my hidden superpower that I had. It was when my doctor gave me the wrong chemotherapy 3 months into my diagnosis.
Oh my
And
gosh.
when it went into my lymph nodes, it was at that point that I had to decide, do I fire this doctor and go with my gut and my intuition and what I feel right with, what sits well with me, that doesn't scare me? Or do I go with the expert opinion with everyone in my family who thinks this doctor knows what they're talking about? What do I do? And I had two choices, life and death, between that. And sometimes, and hopefully most of the time, it's not those two choices that we face. But ironically for me, it was because I didn't listen for a long time. But I was lucky enough. I chose myself. I chose my dreams, and I was okay with that. Whatever the outcome would have been, I was okay because I chose it. And it was aligned with what I wanted. And I was even more all in. You know how you say hearts? What do you say? Hearts
Heart in, hands
and
on.
hands on. I was heart and hands on after that moment. But until that moment, I wasn't. And that moment is what changed my life, quite honestly.
Wow,
Because
it changed your whole life. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
decided I was going to make it successful. My treatment would be successful because I decided it, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got through treatment and you got training as a coach, and this whole thing changed your life around.
Yeah.
And so now you have a company called the Superhero Lifestyle.
Yes.
And what made you choose that title? We can only imagine. I mean, we can figure this out. You are kind of a superhero.
It was my kids. So, so I have two companies now, but that was my first one because that was what I needed to step where I am now. And that company gave me the opportunity to have a vision. And a lot of times we forget, like we look so far ahead and try to see our long-term vision that we forget that, in order to get there, you got to take that first step. And that first step was that company, and it brought me so much I can't even fathom. And I'm still like in gratitude for it, quite honestly, because it's one of those things that keeps giving and you don't realize it and you don't recognize it. And you just, we just had a video the other day from that company, and we had about 10,000 views from it again. And it was viral. It was crazy, and I never expect, and I know we were just talking about that. The things you don't expect from are the ones that are the most beautiful.
I think that's such an important point is, so much time, and especially I think it's in the American lifestyle and really, our kind of capitalist society. We have this idea in our mind that we're going to have, X amount of dollars, we're going to have this house, we're going to have this car, we're going to have, right? And it's a lot about material stuff. And then we get to a certain age and like everybody else is pressuring us. Why don't you have this? How fat is your retirement account? How, whatever. And then you get like really down about what, because your expectation, or at least this has been my journey, my expectation was this, and this. And then what starts to happen is when you release it and you just surrender and you go, oh, this, I'm working so hard from this. I'm just worn out. I can't do it anymore. And everyone who's on here, listen to this. When you're worn out and you're tired, there is a message in this about you, stop doing it. That is not what we were created for. Do. That's what Micah just said. We are also do. Human doings, right? And then we get down on ourselves because we haven't achieved this, we haven't achieved that. And when we surrender it, so many times, I don't know if this is like the same for you as it is for me, and I want to hear from you guys if this is true for you. Type in truth. But so many times when I finally gave up and said, I'm just not that or whatever, all of these blessings start coming. And they're blessings that you just, Micah's typing in truth. There's blessings that you wouldn't even have thought of. They're bigger, bolder, amazing things.
Things we would never have even imagined because your dreams are not big enough.
Exactly. Everybody, I hope you're hearing that. Are your dreams big enough right now? Are your dreams big enough? My God, this superwoman is just challenging you. Your dreams are not big enough. If you're dreaming right now, dream bigger, bigger. Not necessarily only about money, right? about what you can be, how you can help the world, dream big. Yeah. That Mary Tennyson said, it seems the harder one works, the smaller the returns. And then Moonleen is asking a question. I think this is a really good one. She's saying, how do we surrender?
Well, I want to ask Moonleen, how do you think you surrender?
Ah, that's a true sage for you. I would have jumped in and just started answering that. But how do you think you surrender? I think if we're thinking, have I surrendered? We probably haven't.
Exactly. And that's why I asked. Because I think a lot of times we try to emulate everyone else and we try to copy everyone else, and you have to recognize you're not everyone else. You're beautiful the way you are, and you're beautiful in being who you are. And whatever moment you're going through, whether it's you want to, roll up into a ball and get swallowed by the earth or be a hermit, or you want to claim the world and rejoice and run around on the ocean, on the sand, that's who you are at the moment. And if you surrender to what you're feeling, that will never take you wrong. That will never take you to the wrong path.
Yeah. It's taken me a long time to learn that, even I always wanted to get rid of those bad feelings, and even meditate my way out of it or run my way out of it or whatever. I mean, there's all the other things I do too, like eat and all that stuff. But I, got on this spiritual journey and I thought, gosh, if I'm achieving, if I do enough spirituality, then these bad feelings, these icky feelings that I feel will go away, right?
Or you'll get distracted from it.
And what starts happening is when I go to those feelings, when I'm fully present with those feelings, when I send love to those feelings.
Yeah.
That's what gives the blessing. And then they do dissipate, right? They're just standing there popping at me because they want me to notice. And they're trying to get me to notice something's not right. Right? Yeah. That's why they're there, right? So it gives me the opportunity to notice what is right. So, yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, and, if you've been through psychology or anything, or you have children, kids want recognition, right? They want to be heard. If you don't listen to what they're saying, they'll just bang harder. Oh, yeah. Or they'll be like, or talk, right? Or just, my son kept singing last night and he never sings because my daughter sings and he wasn't getting the attention that she gets. And my husband was like, why does he keep singing? And my daughter's like, he's bothering me. And I was like, no, he just wants to be heard. And he's trying to use the voice that people listen to. When his sister sings, you listen. So he's like, maybe I should do that. So we try to copycat everyone else, and we don't recognize what is it that our heart is singing? What is it that it's saying to us? And are we recognizing the emotion we're going through? Yeah. Or are we just saying, go away, I don't want to hear you, I only want the good stuff?
Yeah.
Well, the good and the bad, when you can embrace that about yourself, the guilty, the sadness, the hate, the imperfections, that's when you're really in, what do you call that? In alignment and, moving forward in your life for you.
Micah says she's got to learn how to ride the lightning.
I love that.
Love that too. I think I'm going to steal that one.
Love that.
I'm going to ride the lightning.
Micah, I'm going to write that on my little Instagram today, Micah, and it's going to say from Micah.
I probably won't, Micah, so just letting you know. Okay. So yeah, back to you and your superhero. So what we're talking about right now is we're finding, she said she got it from the Big Bang Theory. So there you go.
My question.
So, I got to laugh for just a minute. Let me get it together.
So if you guys don't know, when me and Paula get together, we go crazy.
Yeah. We should be playing music right now. Anyway, so back to what your I want to say your badassery, but your superpower, and realizing, and I want everybody else to really hear this, is that the message of sometimes what we think is bad is really the best. And I had somebody, David Adelson, a friend of many of ours, who was on this today, and challenged me on that because I was using the language of, oh, I think it's bad. And he said, who says it's bad? Who says it's bad?
Yeah.
It's, you know, a lot of times our society is saying it's not money, so it's bad. It's not coming fast enough. You don't have enough in your retirement account, so it's bad. You know, but who says it's bad?
Yeah, it's
Sometimes the bad's the
preconditioned.
blessing,
Yeah.
right? And that's part of the badassery, right? We want to look for the blessing everywhere we go. So I don't want to keep cutting you off. Talk a little bit more about your company and your power and this new project you're doing, which is just so amazing. And I want everybody to tune into that too.
No, well, thank you. It's I'm super excited because I was inspired always by Paula and many women that I'm around. And quite honestly, I realized that in many cultures, we do not embrace women as lovingly as I love Paula, she loves me. I don't see that quite often mirrored anywhere else other than in, you know, our little bubbles of communities that we create for ourselves, which is amazing because they're great support systems. But out there in the real world, that's not really that available. And it's such an important part of being a woman, I think, to be held in support by a woman. For me, it was, oh my gosh, life-saving. It was, you know, inspiring to be supported, to grow, to feel like you're being cultivated like a seed, you know, you're growing together. And so the show that we created, and it was inspired by my daughter too. So she's one of the hosts for the show. And so we created this show basically to start conversations in communities that are afraid to have conversations, afraid to speak up. Topics like divorce while raising children, and, you know, the conflicts that they face in their communities by, you know, general population, even doctors for that matter, have preconceived, you know, ideas about divorced women and this and that in the South Asian community that we know of. And, you know, facing suicide, mental health issues, rape, incest, topics like humility, spirituality, you know, money mindset is basically, there is no holding back in these conversations. And I know in the South Asian community that we have, people don't talk, they listen, which is a great thing because they listen from the, you know, behind closed doors in their own, you know, the privacy of their own bathroom, room, bedroom, but they won't talk to each other in a family, or, you know, with amongst one another, but they'll listen within themselves because, you know, they're asking these questions within themselves, but they're not saying them out loud. So this is just a way to bring it to light and to show them that if I can have a conversation with my 13-year-old daughter about rape, about bullying, with my 7-year-old son, or with my dad about how spirituality can affect sexuality even. So, I mean, these topics that we talk about in the mainstream are things that people are like, wait, hush, hush. Mental illness, are you sure you want to talk about it in the South Asian community? You know, and I think I was talking to Matt from your tribe, from the Badassery, and he was saying that it's very pertinent in his culture as well. And it's so pertinent in so many cultures, you know, and I'm sure, Paula, you're aware of that too. Within, you know, you told me, you shared with me that it's very pertinent in your culture. So I feel like these topics, even though it's catered towards the South Asian population, I think it's such a worldly topic, worldly, I guess, platform that we're trying to reach out to many different cultures and just start awareness, conversation, and fearlessness, you know, because it should be talked about. These things should, mental health. We have a friend whose son is going through mental health stuff. And, you know, I wish there was more that I could do for her, and I can't, you know, so.
But giving her an avenue to at least speak, and again, back to those feelings,
Yeah,
it is very empowering to have people around you who love you no matter what you say, right? I
absolutely.
mean, it's very empowering. Many of us, I don't know if any, I don't know anybody really who has the exact perfect family. There is no perfection, but oftentimes that's where that stuff about shut it up and shut it down and, be what we're wanting you to be is coming from, is family and sometimes
Yeah.
unfortunately close friends. So redefining who our family is and how those pieces can be held and supported so we can grow is so important. And I'm so glad you're doing this.
Thank you. And the whole point of it is to realize, what are my boundaries? Because I think growing up, we're not really taught to create boundaries for ourselves. I think a lot of us, well, at least for me, I wasn't aware that I could have boundaries. I could decide, do I want this person in my life, or are they toxic to me? Are they going to be helping elevate my life in some way? Or are they just need-based, and are they just draining my life force out of me?
Yeah.
And having that awareness, man, I wish I had that. When I was a child, even.
Yeah. Micah says that she's loves what Brene Brown says about vulnerability, shame, and about how women care for one another. And that's a really good reference for anybody who's here today with us, is Brene Brown talking about these issues for women and all people, but really about vulnerability and how that can. What's the name of the show? Your show. What's the name of your show?
Oh, I thought you were talking to Micah. It's Why Should My Roti Be Round?
Why should my roti be round?
So it's like, why should my tortilla be round? Why should my mango be round? I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Something what's famous in your culture, and why should it be round?
Why should my pizza be round?
Right. I have to, And it's funny because we use that name because when a girl is little, they're told, make sure your rotis are round. You don't want your in-laws to look at you and be like, you learned nothing from your parents' house. And then later on, when you get married, your in-laws are like, well, didn't you learn how to make round rotis? And so it's like this, hidden subliminal meaning, this unsaid, but everyone understands thing.
Yeah.
And so it just goes on to show that, women are empowering to each other, and yet we deflate one another on a daily basis without realizing it.
Yeah. I want every woman who's on here, Moonleen says, I think finding women who authentically, which is really repeating what you just said, support each other and love each other is hard to find, which makes you so special, Ruby, which is so true. But I want everybody who's on here who is a woman to take a pledge, write in pledge to go out of your way to supporting other women and have them know that you support and love them. It doesn't have to be every single person. If it's a toxic person, don't do that necessarily. But in general, instead of getting in that role of competition, let's get in the role of collaboration. That's what this is all about. That's a badass, man. That is what's going to build it. Ruby and I are going to come back on here. Yeah. Micah says pledge, 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 pledge. Yeah. Let me hear some hearts. Pledge. I hear Mila saying pledge. Love supporting other women. And Moonleen says pledge. Okay. And she says she likes me too. So that's good. But I want to hear the hearts. I want to see the hearts coming in. Everyone who's a woman, even men, let's build each other up. Everyone's on taking the pledge. This is beautiful, beautiful. And remember it past 6 o'clock tonight. Go out on purpose. Honor Ruby and her journey today. Honor Ruby and her show. We're going to all tune into it. Here come the hearts flying in. We all love you, Ruby. Aww. We love what's going on, loving each other.
Most of all, honor yourself.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, before we tune off today, and I know we've had a short period of time, and I don't know about you all, but I want Ruby back on. Everybody vote for Ruby. Ruby.
I want to stay forever.
I know, it's so fun. It's so fun. Yeah, so important to honor each other and ourselves. If you want to could you give us 3 tips for, now that you brought that up, just standing in your own power, things that you've learned, things that you teach to other people in their transformation, just kind of, you know, you don't have to put great thought into it. I'm sure you deal with this every day, but what are kind of 3 things that could be takeaways that we would remember? And somebody be great and type them in so other people see it and we reinforce it as it goes. So, you know, Mary or Amy or somebody that's on right now, go ahead and type them in as she said them. So what are 3 points to honor yourself and to stand in your own badassery?
I think one of the first things you can honor yourself by is understanding yourself, knowing yourself and who you are.
Okay.
You know, I think a lot of times we want to see ourselves in everyone around us. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a ballet dancer. Oh, I'm going to be a firefighter. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And that's wonderful, you know, but who are you really? You know, and if you're all 3, then that's great. You know, maybe you're a firefighter who does ballet and, you know, dances on the pole and then, you know, gets people. But if that's you, great. But honor who you are. That's number 1. Number 2 is do it fearlessly. Don't get caught up in the fear of success or fear of failure. Because one or the other will come up.
Sometimes both at the same time.
Sometimes they both will, and you're going to be like, no,
yeah.
no. You know, because the truth is, if you do succeed, that's great. Now you can move on to the next thing. Check off, right? And if you fail, guess what? That's even more empowering because that means you're that much smarter.
And who defines failure? I mean,
Exactly.
you know, it could have been the best blessing ever.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It's a preconceived notion that we're, you know, teach ourselves like, oh no, I don't want to fail. I want to be number 1.
You know, I just want to say this one thing. Where I see that really coming into play so impactfully and in how, and in people that I coach, you know, as well, because I'm a mindset coach and I deal with this stuff as well, is people on social media. Being, you know, just comparing themselves to, oh, that's, you know, see what they're doing. I'm not doing that. I can get into that too. Sometimes I got to take it off the phone because it just gets to be, and you know, everybody's on there. Well, not me. I don't present my best self. I'm just myself. I decided, I don't know if y'all saw my post this week about my path that I chose and all of that. And it is part of my decision to be who I am and publicly declare it. And whether my family likes it or whoever or whatever, if my family's on here now, hi, I love you. But, you know, I'm still going to declare it. And yeah, it's part of being fearless. And Micah just says fearless to remind us is be fearless, stand in who you are. And the success and the failure, who defines that, right? It might be the biggest blessing ever.
Yeah. And then I'd say the last one I would say is don't be afraid to take the road less traveled. You know, because in that, it's so unique. You get to pick and choose what your path will be. And the beautiful genuinity in it, I think, is probably far more superior than any trodden path that you could take. Okay. And it may just be a shortcut to where you need to be anyway.
While you're getting 10,000 likes on a video.
Exactly, right? It's crazy. You make some tacos and you got views.
Yeah, but who thinks of cauliflower tacos? I mean, that's dang cool. I didn't get to, I was doing something else and I need to go back and watch it because my son's all into the cauliflower stuff now.
Oh, nice. I love it.
I really want to learn how to do that because that'll be big fun. So let's go over these points again. Oh, good. Mary Tunnison is writing them all in for us. She gets a big gold star. Honor and know yourself, live fearlessly. This is your badassery prescription. This is your, you know, how to be a superhero in your own life and to other people as well. Yeah, we got Amy doing it too. Honor and know yourself, live fearlessly. Don't be afraid to take the road less traveled. Amy's typing in some stuff too about honor yourself by understanding and knowing yourself, not what you feel you should be based on others. Fearlessly, don't get caught in the fear of success or failure. Love that. Love it. Everybody write that down. I am not caught up in the fear of success or failure. It's so important. Thank you, Ruby. And don't be afraid to take the road less traveled. It's far more superior to any road that's ever been heavily paved. That is so true. And it's got more interesting things.
Yeah. And and it just goes with your point of there is no need for competition, because every single person, if you go to a mountain, how many ways can you go there? So many. You don't have to be like, okay, I'm going to take a left because Paula took a left, and then I'm going to fall off the cliff because I don't have a left.
Or I don't want to go left because Paula went to left, and that left has already been done.
Yeah.
I got to do something different.
Yeah.
My goodness, if Paula's climbing the mountain and she went left, follow her.
Exactly. Because I'm going to prove I'm better. You don't need to. It's all need. You don't need. That's the thing. Let go of need.
Yeah, I think and Micah was typing in a little bit of that. One of her goals is to kind of let go of that ego stuff. I'm just, I'm reframing it, not exactly what she said, but boy, you guys, a lot of literally road traveled today with Ruby and her amazing story of how she became who she was supposed to be through something that would normally stop most people and make them scared and fold into themselves through a diagnosis of cancer. And it changed everything for her. And then it's changing everything from us too, because we get to experience you and your wisdom. And somehow that got unleashed. And we're just so blessed and happy to be part of it. I don't know about y'all, but I'd like to have Ruby back on the show. If you guys want her back on, come on, type in Ruby. I gotta know.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, Micah says, yeah.
I'm quoting you, Micah.
Yeah. Good thing they wrote that on what was the show that just cracked me up?
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. I'm going to have to go watch that. Yeah, I got the hearts flying in. Yes, everybody's saying anytime, come back. We want you. Yes, Ruby, come on back. So thank you so much for taking your time away as you develop and film your new show. And by the way, that's on Instagram TV. Do you have any time when you're going to start airing it, or you?
It should be in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Mid-August.
Time where they go on.
Yeah. Just go on Why Should My Roti Be Round, or just go to Dr. Ruby Bajaj on Instagram.
Okay.
And follow me, and I always post stuff.
Oh, perfect. And I'll post it too. Hey, before we leave, I can't leave. The marketing guys are going to get me. They're watching it. I saw my marketing guys on here. He's spying on me. So are the marketing girls. I don't know if Suzanne's on here, but you guys remember I got this challenge going on, right? August the 17th through the 21st. It is really fantastic, amazing. Ruby was a guest the last time. Hopefully, I haven't begged her to be on there yet, but I will. I'm publicly begging her.
Join. You will not be.
I got a doctor endorsing me. So
right.
I want you to come join it. I'm going to put the link in here, and maybe you can put the link to your show. That'll be good. We'll put it in here. And I want you, it's called the 10K in 5 days. Amazing, outrageous, crazy, yes, wonderful, you can do it, badass business challenge. I added all that other part, but it is a badass business challenge. And you will learn how to have everything else and the money too while you're doing in 5 days or less. There's people that have come through that got the money and got everything else in 3 days or less. So we have guests on there. We have, it's just, even if you don't have a business, and you want to like scale your life or, learn to be a coach or whatever, it's a perfect place for you to be. It's a perfect place to get connected. It's people that bring their heart in first. That's the mandate I will give you when we join. Bring your heart in, then put your hands on. That's the way you succeed. And I want you to join in. It is time. It is time. Get in this. Get your heart in this. Learn how to live your best life with the money too, with the fun too. Throw away those to-do lists. Figure out how to have it all and support each other and be a collaborative, not what do you call that, competition. I don't even use the word anymore. So just such a joy to be with you all tonight. Thank you so much, Ruby. And I will talk to all of you next week or before. Watch my YouTube channel. Again, Paula B Coaching, same as this Facebook channel. Go sign up, go subscribe, get the link for the challenge. I want to see you in the challenge. I'm going to be really sad if I don't see you there, and we will talk to you soon. And thank you so much, Dr. Ruby. Love you with all my heart. Love you all. Big love.
Thank you guys so much.
Have a good afternoon.